6 o'clock. Thank you for being with us this morning on THV 11, streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm Hayden Balgavy. Let's send it over to meteorologist Tracy Bean breaking down this extremely hot forecast, and Ashley King also in the house for a look at the roads this morning.
So hot, Tracy.
Yeah, when she gets to traffic, she's going to calm you with this beautiful sunrise. so I'm going to heat things up, and she's going to bring you back again calm, okay?
It's like good cop, bad cop.
That's right. You get to be good cop.
Okay, good.
All right. Let's talk about this weather. We do have a weather impact alert. You know, if you haven't stepped outside yet this morning, it is certainly very, very humid out there. We are already seeing those temperatures close to 80 degrees, 79 in central Arkansas, and a little bit of a breeze, but it's surely not helping us much. It still feels a little sticky out there. And today and tomorrow, we've got our weather impact alert for those highs that are going to be 100 degrees and over in pretty much the entire portion of the state. We'll see a few areas right around 99. Heat index, again, at least 105, but we could see it soar all the way to about 115. So stay hydrated, all the things, you know, that we talk about. We do have this extreme heat warning across a good portion of the state today and tomorrow, and a heat advisory for the rest of the state. So it's going to be hot and humid, but here's the good news. After we get through Tuesday, we're going to start to see a bit of a cooling trend. But when I say cool, I mean mid-90s, but, you know, that's better than 103. Ashley?
It is hot, hot, hot. Took my daughter to the airport this morning at 4 a.m. and it was already 80. Oh, it's just already hot. It doesn't even cool off in the overnight hours. But this is what it looks like. A beautiful sunrise on Interstate 430 here at the Arkansas River Bridge. We just saw them driving through with the lights on those managed lanes, the shoulders. They opened these up for the morning commute. So they made sure those are clear and things are rolling okay there on Interstate 430. And this is what it looks like all across the central Arkansas roads right now. It's all green. We don't have any issues. We'll give it another look coming up in a few minutes.
Developing now, police in Seattle take one person into custody while searching for another after a deadly shooting at a popular food festival.
Officials say 3 people are dead and 4 others hurt after gunfire erupted Sunday night near the Space Needle. The shooting happened at the Bite of Seattle. It's an event that draws hundreds of thousands of people each year. Police say the 2 suspects appear to be shooting at each other, and officers on the scene ran toward the gunfire to help stop the attack.
Investigators are now working with the FBI and the ATF, collecting evidence and trying to locate the second suspect.
Thankfully, we had officers on the scene that were brave, went to those shots, and prevented more victims from being injured.
We're coming off of a week in Seattle where we've had 3 major incidents of gun violence in just a few days. We have a lot of work to do as a city and as a country to make this better.
Police say there is no longer a threat to the public, but the shooting adds to ongoing concerns, like the mayor mentioned, over gun violence nationwide.
The U.S. and Iran are pausing strikes as the Trump administration says it's giving diplomacy a chance while keeping military options open. Shipping through the Strait of Hormuz remains limited, and Iran-backed Houthi rebels are continuing attacks on key oil facilities in the region. A new CBS News poll shows 67% of Americans say the U.S. should end the conflict now, while 78% say President Trump is not focused enough on lowering prices. The debate comes as rising energy and food costs continue to put pressure on families ahead of the midterm elections. Now, the Trump administration is preparing to expand immigration enforcement targeting Haitian migrants, as hundreds of thousands could soon lose temporary protected status. Internal documents obtained by CBS News show ICE is planning arrests, including in Ohio, with deportation flights to Haiti possibly starting as early as this week. The plans come after the U.S. Supreme Court allowed the administration to move forward with ending TPS protections for Haitians.
Here at home, firefighters from across central Arkansas battled a large commercial fire Saturday afternoon in Bryant. And this morning, investigators are now trying to figure out how the fire started. Emergency crews responded to the La Quinta Inn on West Commerce Street after getting reports of a commercial structure fire. Bryant firefighters got there first and immediately launched an initial attack on the flames before having to call for backup. Firefighters throughout the region, including Little Rock, Benton, and several Saline County agencies, joining in the response to continue working to bring the fire under control. Authorities say no injuries are reported. Meantime, a legal fight over the Ten Commandments monument at the Arkansas State Capitol is heading to the next stage. A federal judge ruled the display is unconstitutional and must be removed. But Attorney General Tim Griffin is appealing the ruling, keeping the monument in place for now as the case moves through court. THV 11's Catherine Rowley shows us what's next in this nearly decade-long legal battle.
The 8th Circuit Court of Appeals will now decide Arkansas's legal battle over the monument. Because the 8th Circuit has never ruled on this issue, it's not bound by other federal court decisions. The 5th Circuit let Texas keep its monument, and the 10th Circuit ordered Oklahoma to remove its. Robert Steinbuch, law professor at the Bowen School of Law, says that the split in the law could eventually send the issue to the U.S. Supreme Court.
So if for some reason the 8th Circuit ruled contrary to how the 5th Circuit has already ruled on monuments regarding the Ten Commandments, then you would expect that it would wind up going to the U.S. Supreme Court.
State Senator Kim Hammer sponsored the 2015 legislation that put the monument on the grounds. He says it stands as a reminder of the past for the present.
For anybody that's willing to look at our forefathers as they wrote the Constitution, as they wrote the Independence Declaration, that they had it in mind that these would be some of the founding principles that would govern our nation, both in government, but also in the way society should conduct themselves.
Hammer says lawmakers knew the fight would end up in court, but they were confident in their chances.
But we also went in with the expectation that when it was all said and done, it would be upheld as being constitutional. So we're just working through the process now that we anticipated this is the way it would go.
Steinbuch says he believes the 8th Circuit will rule in the state's favor.
My guess, as educated as it may be, is that the 8th Circuit will approve of that in terms of its constitutionality and uphold the ability to have the Ten Commandments in that monument form or in the poster form.
The ACLU leading the charge against the monument says that the lower court ruled correctly. The group argues that the state cannot call religious favoritism tradition and make it constitutional. It says the First Amendment requires the government to remain neutral on matters of faith. In Little Rock, Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
A controversial data center proposal in Grant County is moving ahead, and county leaders have now identified the company behind it as Edge Connects. Officials say the project is still in a months-long due diligence phase, but they're making it clear any property tax break will depend on the company addressing community concerns. Those concerns include water usage, the project's impact on the community, and what benefits it would bring to Grant County. Leaders say they won't consider the largest tax abatement if the facility requires millions of gallons of water each year. Many residents say they don't want the data center at all, citing concerns about their quality of life and the rural character of the area.
We don't want to see all of our trees ripped away just to put in something that 90% of Sheridan ain't even going to use.
Especially here in the South, a lot of people don't see a reason for it here in Grant County.
And this is about, our way of life. It's about being, the quietness of our community, the protection of our community, ensuring that this thing is not going to damage the health of our community.
County leaders say negotiations are still months away and no final decisions have been made.
Right now, let's check in with meteorologist Tracy Bean. There is a weather impact alert for the extreme heat. Tracy.
Yeah, that's right. We do have a weather impact alert today and tomorrow. We're going to see those temperatures in the triple digits. Again, 102 today, expecting 103 tomorrow, and that's the air temperature. In the afternoon, we're going to see again above 110 degrees. So still seeing that scorching heat at least through tomorrow. And although we are looking for a little bit of trend downward, on Wednesday, we're going to see a front come through, and that is going to give us just a tiny bit of relief. It's not going to be cool by any means, but it is going to be a bit of relief, and it's going to knock us down into those mid to maybe even just a little dip into those lower 90s, but still staying above our average. But you'll see today and tomorrow, and maybe even as we're heading into Wednesday morning, we're not really seeing much movement in those overnight lows. So it's going to start out warm, and that means it's going to get hot quick throughout the day. Stick around with me. We're going to talk about today's forecast and what you can expect this afternoon coming up.
And looking at traffic around central Arkansas, it's still very early, 6:09. We're not really seeing a whole lot of volume on our roads just yet. So things are rolling around. They're rolling okay on the roads. They're not rolling around. That would be bad. The wheels are rolling. So that's a good roll. Okay, so this is what's happening right now. Live traffic map, everything looks fine. We'll check it again coming up in a few minutes. I'm going to go get some more coffee.